Hey Mike,
Christian,
how's it going?
welcome to Lynx Defense.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me out. So this is Michael Savage. He is the owner and operator of Lynx Defense. Makes some wonderful, awesome pistol bags and range bags and rifle bags and other accessory stuff. So today we're going to get a little bit of a tour just to kind of see what Lynx Defense is all about and see how the magic is made over here. So if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Sure. So of course we're here in Selma, North Carolina. This is our little humble abode. This is our facility. As you can see here, this side lines all of our machines and of course some of our pocket storage, as we call it. We have a small little smattering of bags right here that we kind of use mostly for when we're going through and actually manufacturing them. We refer back to completed bags that we know are right. We store those up here, but also if anybody ever comes in and wants to check us out, we can kind of let them see what we make right here. Kind of moving along here, of course, these are our stations. Every one of our operators kind of has their own single needle machine. They kind of stay in one area. And then of course we have some specialized machines like binders and things like that that are kind of like a shared item that they'll bounce between. We're kind of in the middle of everything, so it is kind of a wild mess right now, but we're in the middle of a pistol range bag run, and also we're making some gigabytes and some broncs right here. So you can kind of see everything that's going on. So we'll keep moving this way. Right here on our left, as you can see, this little cart here is actually full of finished bags. They're waiting for QC. So when a bag gets done, it's turned inside out upon completion, and then we have to clean it up, burn off all the threads, and turn it right side out. And put it through our full QC process, put the inserts in it, whatever that bag may call for. Of course, this is kind of how our Bronx looks when it comes off the line. You can see it's inside out. We'll have to turn it, poke out all the corners, and of course, put our retention straps on here. So, and of course, this thing's full of pistol bags. We've kind of geared up, trying to get our pistol bag inventory ready for Christmas. This is our station for QCing. Every bag that comes through Lynx Defense at some point hits this table. Of course, you can see there's a smattering of things here, some lighters and some all kinds of stuff. Our pull tabs, they'll come through here, and those are one of the last things that obviously goes on the bag. Over here, you can see these are all turned pistol bags. Some of these are still waiting for a few pieces to finish being made so they can be put in the bags. Then they'll be tagged with the QC check, barcode labeled, and head up to our inventory where we will store that until they're ordered and we'll ship them out. So over here we have a couple specialized items. This is our grommet setting machine. If you are familiar with our Concord or our ammo dump pouch insert, these get grommets, and this is a machine that sets them. It's air powered, so once we put it on there, it pneumatically press the grommet in and seal it. This is our Geonite heat press. The cat labels in the front of the Bureau Bite and Bronx, all of those get heat pressed on. They actually hold with an adhesive. A lot of people do embroidery. We like the look of that better. It actually uses an inlay process that uses Fedora scraps as well as plastic, so it kind of makes for a really cool look on the logo. So this is our cutting room. There's also, we have our laser over here. We'll show you that in a second. But these are all what we call rolled goods or strip goods. They go on strip cutters, and of course Velcro, or most commonly known as Velcro, but obviously hook and loop. This is where we keep all of our hook and loop rolls. Of course, our webbing, multiple colors. You know, we have our multicam webbings. We have our shock cord or paracord. Everything we need to manufacture the bags that it's a rolled good comes here. Then what we'll do is either put it on a cold or hot cutter, depending on which one it needs. So webbing will need to be hot cut so the ends are burnt. That prevents them from fraying. We don't want to sew these in because we've seen in the past, if you don't hot cut them and you sew them in, you think they're good, but they will unravel over time, especially under weight, and they'll come off. So of course, this is our hot cutter. We have a dedicated hot cutter, a dedicated cold cutter. We also have some spares, but the cold cut, things like hook and loop, we'll cold cut that because you don't have to burn the ends because there's no chance that that will fray. It's a little disarray right now because we just came off a massive pistol bag run, as I mentioned, and so it needs to be cleaned up, but Christian popped in just the right time to see it all dirty, so here we are. So this is our Boss LS1420 laser. We use this a lot more for prototyping. Big stuff that we run, we'll outsource that if it has to be cut in mass. Something like on our shorty shoddy bag, we have that panel that's laser cut. We do outsource that, but a lot of this squadron or anything else, we can cut it here in house on this laser. We have a little station set up to cut small items and other things that we need to have cut. The nice thing about the laser cutting it is the edges will be burned, so they won't fray or come apart, especially on Cordura fabric or squadron or anything like that. We're upstairs. We do have a split floor facility, which is obviously not ideal for manufacturing, but we're right here in downtown Selma, and it's a pretty cool building. I think it's like 90 something years old. Pretty cool building. Glad we could occupy it and use it to make these bags right here in America. Right now our shelves are a little empty because we're running, as you saw, we are running bags like crazy trying to get them restocked, get them ready for Christmas. This is where we store them. All these bags are already QC'd. As you can see, a lot of them already have their tags with the QC on them. And so once they're checked and tagged, they're brought up here, and this is where we ship them out of. All right, so now we're over here in what we call our cutting room. We're still upstairs. There's a split in between the two, and here is where we keep all of our Cordura fabric and all of our hardware. So basically everything gets cut in this room and then gets binned and it goes downstairs to then be sewn and assembled. What you see here is our hardware inventory. So anything from zipper sliders to D-rings to metal tri-glides, you name it, it's here. And you'll see these little badges right here. And what this is our inventory system. There's a little QR code on this. And we have an internal system that keeps track of all this. So every time we put in a production run or somebody orders a made-to-order bag, like Christian has, and we'll cut that in just a moment, what it does is it actually removes these items from inventory from our inventory counter system and then allows us to know in real time how much of what we have and allow us to plan for ordering and things like that. And the QR code we can actually scan with our phone. It'll pull up our app and allow us to adjust the inventory manually. So if we find some that were stuck in a corner or something like that, and we're putting it back in inventory, we can scan it and add it. Likewise, if we're taking it out, we can do the same thing. So we're getting ready to cut a bag for Christian. So It's actually in this splatter fabric here, and since splatter isn't used a whole lot, it doesn't actually make the racks. We'll show you those racks in a second, but this will actually be spread on the table, and we'll show you how we cut bags. At Lynx Defense, if you order like a made-to-order bag, we get a printout as soon as the order is made, and on this printout, it has several QR codes. It has our target completion date. So we try to get these to you in 2 to 3 weeks at the most. We usually try to beat that, but we still have our target completion dates. And then we have these QR codes. What these QR codes do is allow us to scan it during every stage that it goes through. And once we scan it, it sends the customer an email notification that their order is in that stage. We have 4 stages. We have material allocation, which is basically us making sure we have the material. Once we complete the material allocation and make sure we have everything to make your bag, we go to the cutting stage. And then once it's cut and binned, it'll go downstairs to our production team, and it'll be scanned as in production, and it'll hit our production floor to be sewn together. Then once it does, it goes to final quality check. So when the quality checker actually gets this piece of paper and the bag at the same time, they'll scan it, let you know it's in final quality check, and the next thing you'll get is a shipping notification. All right, so now we're gonna actually spread this. Again, we have most of our big used items on our racks. The ones that we use pretty much every single day end up on a rack, but being that splatter is not the most popular thing we sell, we don't rack it. So rack space is valuable. So we're gonna unroll. I'm not exactly sure how much of this will be used, but we're gonna go ahead and unroll it and get it ready for cutting. So here we've got PatternSmith. This is the proprietary software for our Autometrics cutting table. And what you see here is actually the pattern for the EDC backpack. This is the item that Christian ordered, so we are going to go ahead and start cutting that. So what we have to do is nest it. So all of these items are made out of what we call shell fabric, and our shell fabric is typically Cordura. These other items over here we'll get to later. Some of it's pack cloth interior, some of it's our no slip for our shoulder pads, some of it's foam. So we'll go ahead and forge this, or what we call nesting. So what this is going to do is it's going to try to get the most efficiency yield out of the fabric. So the computer is actually taking all the pattern shapes and trying to get the most efficient yield out of the material. Typically, this maxes out in a couple of seconds. You can set it to run for as long as you want. We try to get 99% efficiency, but that really doesn't happen. A lot of times, the best you get is a 70. Fortunately, this particular pattern and item gets about 91-ish and some change efficiency here. So now it's nested. Now we can send it over to the machine to be cut, and we'll show you that process. All right, so now the way this table works is there's actually a blower underneath it that creates suction. It'll suck the fabric to the table, which will be quite loud, so I won't be talking during that. But then it will mark and then cut. So there's 2 passes, 2 tool passes that'll happen. You'll see it marking first, and then it will begin to cut the pattern out. The marks are typically sewing marks where the operators need to sew, or, you know, a lot of people use notches. We've changed our notches out for marks. It's just better, in our opinion, for the fabric, and there's no cut marks. So now the real fun part, which is what we call the pickup. As you see here, you come through and you can pick up all the pieces. Sometimes they like to snag together a little bit, you gotta pull them apart. But these are gonna be all the individual pieces for the bag itself. And then once we pick all these up, pick them out, we'll put them in a bin. So we'll take Christian's work order and obviously throw it in the bin with it. Once we pick all this up, put it in, it'll get scanned, which I'll do now. So he will get an email letting him know that his backpack is headed to production. But before that, we'll go back to the rack with all the hardware and we will grab all the allocated hardware for it, put it in here, the zippers, the D-rings, everything they need downstairs to build this bag. We'll put it in here and it'll head downstairs to be sewn. So here we're back in the strip cutters, and this is where we will actually cut the hook and loop. We'll hot cut the web, including your drawstrings. So when you put the backpack on and pull them down, we'll cut that as well. So here we have our Sheffield cutter. We have this set up to do what we call cold cutting, which means there's no heat on the blade. So when it comes down, it's just cold cutting it. So what we'll do here is we put in the length. So this is gonna be a 10-inch piece of 2-inch loop. Say that 3 times fast. So what it's gonna do is gonna do an initial cut, which will give us this little scrap piece. And that's our 10-inch piece that we need. Since we're only doing one of these bags, it's made to order, we're only gonna cut that one. And then that piece is just trash. Then that might be all the cold cutting we need. Yep, everything else is web or the cordless.
Alrighty, so I'm here with Mike Savage from Lynx Defense. Just got finished up with a tour. Awesome place you got here, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
A lot of cool equipment, a lot of steps that I had no idea went into making one of these awesome bags. So I appreciate you walking me through every step of the way and just kind of giving the viewers an idea of what all goes into these bags, the heart behind it, all the detail and attention, and just truly appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you coming, and anytime you want to swing by, swing on by. So
right.
We'll be here. So.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, I'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks for looking at this one.
This one here, that one's kind of at an angle.
I'm gonna let you finish out your video.